Tier 1 Farm Team. You are 11 years old. A few months ago, you had to leave your school and your friends to flee to the States with your mum. Now you live in a migrant shelter at the Roosevelt Hotel in Midtown. Your mum works 2 jobs just to pay off the debt for the crossing. You wander the streets with no purpose. You meet a 17-year-old, also from Venezuela. After a few days, he asks you, do you want to help your mum? Do you want to have friends? You start hanging around Times Square and Central Park, snatching phones from tourists. You can get $300 to $600 per cell phone. You graduate quickly from petty crimes to violent acts. You don't have a choice anymore. If you don't fulfill a dare to commit a crime, they force you to lick the floor of a subway car. You start using guns and knives in robberies, moving in larger, organized groups. The police have no fingerprints, no photos, and no criminal history on you. To the city, you don't exist. But you have a new family now, the Tren de Aragua, Venezuela's fearsome crime syndicate. Tier 2, the Garitero, the lookout. You are 16 years old. You've earned their trust and just got promoted. They gave you a moped. You wear a long-sleeved jungle print shirt to blend in, smartphone, and a small bag slung across your chest. Your job is surveillance and protection. Along with the other Gariteros, you ride through the city, watching the territory and spotting threats. You have to disappear into the crowd. If you see something suspicious, you send a message to a WhatsApp group named after the gang. Every message is coded. You don't use words, you only send emojis. It's harder for the police to track. If you see a suspicious SUV, an unmarked car, or a Fed, you send the alien. If you spot a rival like MS-13 or a local crew, you send the ninja. And if it's time for violence, if blood needs to be spilled, you send the crossed swords. One wrong icon and people die. One missed warning and you die. Tier 3, the collector. You are 23 years old. You were kicked out of the Hall Street shelter in Brooklyn for breaking the rules. But you still go back there every day. You are there to collect drug money and settle scores between gang members. Your main job is the vacuna, the vaccine. It's the tax people pay just to stay alive. You systematically exploit your own people. Everyone has to pay for everything. You extort fees from residents just to park their cars. In some buildings, after the management gave up and left, you started collecting the actual rent yourself. You target the most vulnerable, Uber drivers, food delivery workers, small shop owners and restaurants. You know their names. You know where their families live. You don't care how their business is doing. You just tell them the price for protection went up and they have to pay. Tier 4, the enforcer. You are 26 years old. You spent a few years in a Venezuelan prison, and you've been in the States for 2 years. You are the brutal face of the Tren de Aragua. While others count bills, you handle the defiance. When a business owner stops paying or a rival crew moves in, the bosses send you to reclaim the territory with blood. You are the muscle that arrives at 3 a.m. with a crowbar, gasoline, or a ghost gun. You enforce the rules everyone knows. The first time they don't pay, you shoot their wrist. The second time, their ankle. The third time is a death sentence. You discipline members who missed a signal or failed a task, sometimes with a beating, sometimes by shooting them in the leg. You also organized kidnappings. You bind, beat, and torture victims with knives or pistols. If someone records the gang, you kidnap them and force them to watch footage of armed men as a warning. You also manage debt bondage, forcing migrants and displaced people into sex trafficking to pay off their crossing. When the bosses want the neighborhood to truly tremble, you record the execution. You turn brutality into a viral broadcast, a tax on fear that ensures people pay before you even have to knock. You pull the trigger without blinking and walk away from the screaming. Tier 5. Cell Leader. You are 30 years old and you become a cell leader. You oversee every operation in your territory. You are responsible for recruiting new members, assigning tasks, and deciding when to use violence, kidnappings, torture, or murders. You maintain discipline with an iron fist. You communicate with gang members through secure apps. You are the one who invents the emoji codes to keep the police from knowing what you're talking about. You oversee all revenue streams in your cell. You collect the money from the collectors and kick up the percentage to the regional leadership. You don't have a permanent address. You sit in safe houses that change every week. You meet your people at 2 a.m. in parking lots or one-night Airbnbs in New Jersey. You are the link between the street and the organization. But this position has a price. To the NYPD and ICE, you are a primary target. To the bosses in Caracas or Bogota, you are an investment that must perform. Tier 6. Chile Country Boss. You are 38 years old and you are the boss of Chile. From Santiago to the Bolivian border, every cell leader reports to you. You are known as one of the Piratas de Aragua. You use corruption to infiltrate the state and keep the police off your back. You run a network of brothels. Your people bring Venezuelan women from the Bolivian border to Santiago and tell them they owe $5,000 for the trip. You force them into prostitution to pay off that debt. You also run kidnapping crews. You snatch wealthy Venezuelans or Chilean businessmen and torture them for days so their family pays faster. You handle the money laundering with the boss in Peru. You use shell companies, Western Union, and Bitcoin to move millions of dollars north to Caracas. You take your orders directly from the high lieutenants in Venezuela. When the bosses back home wanted a political dissident dead, they called you. Your team dressed up like Chilean police, took him from his apartment, and buried his body in a suitcase under a layer of cement. It made international news. Now, the Chilean police, PDI, are hunting you. Your top lieutenants are already in prison or being extradited. The International Criminal Court is investigating you for the suitcase murder. You built this network, but now the world is closing in on you. Tier 7. The High Lieutenant. You handle the money for the whole organization across 7 countries. You coordinate the bosses in Chile and Peru to keep the cash moving. You are the one who built the network to hide the money. You set up fake companies and illegal rent deals in Venezuela, Peru, Ecuador, Chile, Mexico, Colombia, and the US. You take over apartment buildings, like in Aurora, Colorado. You send men to intimidate the owners, and you force the tenants to pay their rent to the gang. You have people who make fake IDs and passports. You move gang members across borders when they need to escape. You pay off officials and police to let the business run. You don't do the street work anymore. You move millions of dollars through Bitcoin and wire transfers to the leaders in Venezuela. You see the numbers while the soldiers see the blood. Tier 8. The 3 Daddies. You are one of the 3 daddies, the founders who built an empire from behind prison walls. There are only 3 of you, and you answer only to the top leader. You are the highest level of the Tren de Aragua. Your headquarters is Las Claritas, a mining town known as Kilometer 88. You control every part of life there. Miners, shopkeepers, and residents must follow your social rules and pay the taxes you set. You act as the judge. They call you 𝐿𝐵𝐵𝐿. If anyone says your real name out loud, they are dead. You control the gold mines in Las Claritas, some of the most profitable in the country. You use the money to organize social events, sports and music to keep control. Even though there is an Interpol warrant for your arrest, you operate openly. There are police offices in town and a dozen checkpoints on the road, but nobody touches you. But the circle is closing. One of the founders, 𝐟𝐨𝐫𝐿, was recently arrested in Colombia on charges of terrorism, weapons trafficking and kidnapping. He was hiding in a mansion he built from the ground up in a luxury rural area. He had 9 bodyguards and drove luxury cars, thinking he was safe after setting up gang cells across Chile and the south. You are still free in the jungle, running the gold and the blood. But for the founders, the world is getting smaller. Tier 9, the leader. You are 30 years old. You have become the ultimate Pran, the founder and architect of the most powerful criminal structure in Venezuelan history. For a decade, you ruled a continent from behind bars. While the world saw a penitentiary, you saw a corporate office. You transformed a fortress of concrete into a kingdom of luxury, with nightclubs, casinos, and your own private zoo. Inside those walls, you were untouchable. You institutionalized terror. You turned brutality into a bureaucracy, recording every execution to ensure your reach was felt across every border. You built a legion of loyalists and used the migration of your own people as a roadmap for conquest. From the slums of the north to the gold mines of the south, and into every capital across the continent, your machine followed the path of suffering. Today, you command thousands. Your empire generates tens of millions, but you are a ghost. You allow no photos. You speak only through encrypted whispers. When the state finally came for your kingdom, you were already gone, disappearing through tunnels you had prepared years in advance. They claimed victory. They lied. You are still out there. Your cells still operate. Your men still collect. Your videos still circulate. You are the most wanted man on the continent. The US State Department has offered $5 million for information leading to your capture. Interpol has you on a red notice. You command thousands. You generate millions, but you can't go home. You can't stop running. This is the Tren de Aragua, and you are its prisoner.